Hi, this is Stephen Brower from Merritt Valley Community College. This is part 2 of File Explorer for computer literacy. Where I had left off, I went into Word and I created this document, this practice document, and I didn't get any further than that. What I wanted to show, and I was going to move Word to the right, that back here in File Explorer, I see the document here that I am working on. Now, I did save, and I can continue to go and make some changes to it. Okay, so Word has the document open, and let me just go and save the last changes I just did to see that it is actually saved. If I come over here while in File Explorer, while Word has this open, and if I try to go and rename this file, so I'm going to do the F2. Remember, I accidentally had too many N's. So if I try to go and remove the extra N's that I have, see, it comes back and it won't let me. Word has a lock on the file. A lock is placed in a file when an application is, well, currently updating it. And this is so no other application can come along and change the file because the file is in use. Now the other thing I wanted to point out by this, even though over here in Word I did click Save and it says all the changes were saved, there is the possibility that when it says it's saved, it actually has a temporary file somewhere else, would actually save the information there, and the information is not yet in the file that's here. Meaning, suppose I were to go and try to email this file, the file that I try to email may not have all the information that's in the file here. So it's very important whenever you're emailing or submitting a file that you don't have the file open in the application that had created it. So Word, Excel, Access, PowerPoint, all of them will have locks on the files. And if you're going to send one of those, send a Word document or attach a Word document or an Excel spreadsheet or an Access database or a PowerPoint presentation, you want to make sure you close out of the file first before you go and do that. So let me, from here within Word, let me go and do a close. And now I come back here and I can now do the rename. And it is renamed. Now, I went and I renamed it. If I were to try to do an open and I look at the recently worked on files, it thinks that the file recently worked on is the one that has all the extra N's. And so if I try to open this recent file, it's going to come back and say, hey, wait a minute, we can't find it. And that's because I had renamed it. So anyway, but I wanted to at least show that lock point of view. Okay, now coming back here, let me go back and point out some other things we saw previously. Let me remove the file name extensions. And so when I remove the file name extensions, all I see here is practice document. And I see over here that it is Microsoft Word. Well, let me expand this a little bit. Let me expand it here a little bit. Oh, I should mention that. Anyway, let me finish that. So it is a Microsoft Word document. I don't actually see the extension. I click on File Name Extensions, and I do see there's a .docx. By the way, the X part started with Word 2007. Prior to Word 2007, the files just ended .doc. Technically, what the X means, this is actually behind the scenes. It's a zip, it's a compressed file of XML data. So it actually is, in a sense, in an already compressed format. That's a little bit too much information. I just kind of wanted to at least mention that. All right. So let's, what do I want to do? I'm going to do a couple of things. Let's pretend that for a lab I'm submitting, I was going to call it, I don't know, a lab. I'm not very good at naming things. So suppose there's a lab that I'm submitting, and as part of the lab, let's say there's several files that I have. Let me just bring I just did a drag and drop of the file into this a lab folder. And for giggles and grins, I'm going to double click on this. Now, because the extension, it knows, look at that. See that over here? That's a hidden file. Because I have the hidden files on, it is actually showing. And so Word actually has created this file here. I deselect the hidden items. We don't see it. We click the hidden items. No, we still don't see it. Refresh. Well, it was there a second ago. You saw it, right? It's a locked file, a temporary file that Word had created. Oh, yeah. So let's just, what I want to do is I just want to get a couple files. So I'm going to do a save as. And I'm going to put this in the same place. And let me say practice document, I don't know, addendum. So this should create another file. There's the addendum. I'm just trying to get multiple files in here. And let me just do this one more time, just so I can, and again, just being silly here, practice document, third file. Okay. Oh, yeah, one thing I should probably mention, something I customized my toolbar within Word. You guys don't have this icon here, this close. I added it to my toolbar so that instead of having to go File, Close, I can just do a close from here. You may not need to do that, but if I sit down to grade a Word project you guys submit, and there's 20 students in the class, then 20 times I'm doing open, close, open, close, open, close, open, close, open, close, and so I move the close here for my convenience. We'll do it as an aside for another time. Anyway, what I just wanted to do is I wanted to get 3 files into this folder. Now, suppose what I wanted to do was send all 3 files to someone else, or let's say I wanted to submit it in Web Study. If I uploaded them individually, it would be upload, upload, upload. I would, depending on the tool you're using, you may not have the ability to do a drag and drop of multiple files. So one thing that you can do, I'm going to go up a level, and with the folder, which has the 3 files in it, I'm going to do a right click, send to compressed zipped folder. And so 2 things happen when it does that. One, it tries to do a compression on the files that are there. Now, since a Word document already is a compressed file, we're not going to see that much different size-wise, terribly much different than what was there before. There are other files that may compress down a little bit more. The other thing is, for convenience, all the files are now in this one zip file. So to distinguish these two, the thing here that's the folder, that actually has the 3 files that are in it. The thing that's here, it says it's .zip, it's a single file. And inside that single file is a compressed version of, I'm just going to go and double click it, there's the folder, and then within it are those files. So I'm within the ALAB folder inside of this zip file, and I can see the files that are there. So if I'm doing a send to someone, let me just jump back up here again. So if I'm doing a send, if I attach the zip file, I only have to upload 1 file as opposed to uploading 3 files. And it just makes the transmitting a little bit easier. On the other end, when someone gets it, instead of them having to download 3 files, they only have to download 1 file, and then they can open up and pull out the files that they want. So the .zip is a common extension that is used for compressed folders. In older versions of Windows, it was not built in. We actually had to use another tool to do it. And there are other additional tools that could be used. There's WinRAR, which then also makes compressed files, but has a different extension. So there are other third-party utilities out there. But Windows, I believe it was starting with Windows 7, that the compression was built in. So if you have Windows 7, Windows 8, Windows 10, then you should have the ability to go in and create a compressed folder. Okay, so I think for File Explorer, I think I just did a number of things. I believe, I wrote down, I thought I wrote down, did I write down a list? I think that's everything. Again, if this was a traditional class, this is something I would have done the first day of class, just to kind of show a little bit about File Explorer. I'll have a couple other videos showing some other things like regarding Windows and other tools as well. I just wanted to focus on just managing files. All right, thank you. Where's the button? There it is.